All right, Mr. Brian Oriole, if you want to make an announcement to the court, and that would have been with your case that came in earlier this morning, 660-134, State versus Raymond Torres.
Yes, Aleda. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Judge. On that particular case, we had requested discovery from the state. I believe we are still awaiting some co-ban videos, in-car videos on that particular case to get uploaded to the e-discovery system. So that way we can decide how we're going to proceed on this in the future. If I can, if they're available after pleas that are set to be done, I can try to get with the ADA and see what the status of those video uploads are at this point in time. I have a majority of the body worn camera. It's just the in-car cameras have been missing for a period of time.
Mr. King, Ms. Sanchez.
Can I get that case number one more time, Judge?
I think it's 660-134, Raymond Torres.
Okay. Just one sec. So I'm not sure, my JD isn't pulling up quite yet. Mr. Oriole, is this a SAPD case by chance, do you know?
It is, yes. It's Officer Coronado and is the arresting officer, and then there's a few others that I'd arrived on scene, but I believe they're all SAPD.
And we're looking for co-ban?
It's the co-ban, yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of their MP4 body cams, but I don't see all the co-bans.
No problem. Your Honor, so SAPD has changed their methods of how we're getting discovery. They're trying to make it more expeditious for both parties. So I'm going to reach out and see if I can just upload it myself this afternoon once I'm done with some of the trial stuff. But Brian, if you can just email me if you don't receive that by the end of the week, and then I'll reach out directly to SAPD, but I'm just going to try and upload that myself.
Okay, so as I understand it, this was a pretrial. So do we need to schedule this for another pretrial and a trial date?
If we could do it for one more pretrial, Judge, just so that way I can review all the videos, you know, with the field sobriety test and or the investigation, everything. That way, when Karina and I talk, or whichever ADA is handling the case at that time, I can make a better informed decision as far as the if there are any motions that need to be had or heard before a trial setting would be set. I know the judge had sometimes in the past had motions to suppress separate. I don't know if she's doing that now, but at least it'll give me an idea on whether there does need to be a motion to suppress setting separate, or whether Ms. Sanchez and I can come to an agreement as far as a plea bargain goes. And I don't, hopefully it won't take too long to get videos uploaded. Not much longer.
When would you like to set this, Aleda?
Your Honor, April 25th, would that be enough time?
That should be,
Yes,
should be
ma'am.
more than enough.
That would be enough time for the state.
All right. And that would be at 1:30 or 10 o'clock?
10 a.m., Your Honor. April 25th, 10 a.m.
Okay, so it looks like Mr. Torres is on, but he doesn't have his camera on and he's muted. So I'm assuming that he's listening. Okay, so you've got the date of the resetting and you stay in contact with your attorney. Anything else, Mr.? How do you pronounce your name? Is it Oriel?
You hit it right on the head, Judge Oriel.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you, Judge. I'm sorry I was running late this morning. Got caught up in the new in-person hearings over there, and it was a rude awakening. It's a little different than Zoom. It takes a little longer in some instances.
You know, I really have enjoyed Zoom. I'm a senior judge after 30 years on the bench in Webb County. I retired in 2012, and I continue to sit as a visiting judge, but mostly I do mediations and arbitrations. And I found them to be extremely effective, even on Zoom. And the time that everyone saves and the expense, you know, is well worth it. So I do believe we're going to have some sort of hybrid system for a lot of the cases still. But yes, more and more jurisdictions are going to in-person.
Yes. Well, again, I'm sorry for running late this morning, Judge. I appreciate you getting to us here.
You're very, very welcome. Okay, Aleda, what else do we need to go to? Who's next?
The next one would be Mr. Clint Glennie. And I don't know what case we're on with him. Mr. Glennie, can I have a case number?
Yes, it's Eric Brown, 634. Eric, go to Monica's desk.
Mr. Glennie, you may have two devices on. Are you on a computer and on a phone? That may be why you're getting that feedback.
Yeah, I'm pushing him to the conference room, Your Honor. I apologize. The
That's
cause
okay.
number is 633499, State versus Eric Alexander Brown. And we're here for a plea.
Okay, and Mr. Glennie, has the state sent you the documentation for you and Mr. Brown to execute?
Yes, yes, and we sent it back to the court on, I believe, it was our last setting, and it was about 3 weeks ago. I think it was around March 3rd.
State, do you want to look into that to see where it's at so it can be forwarded to me?
Can we have the case number one more time? I'm sorry, Alita.
Yeah, it's okay. It's 633-499, Eric Alexander Brown. Yeah, I think I have it. I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and reroute it to Judge Ender. So if you want to be a little patient with me while I do that, okay?
Sure.
All right. So let me call out the next case. Elizabeth Settle.
Ms. Settle, you're on mute.
Hi, I'm sorry. Yes, we're ready on a plea, I believe, if my client's there. Our power went out here at home, so I'm just on my phone for this Zoom. So my client's still on the line. We're ready for a plea. It's Malachi Mungia.
She appears to be on. We don't have video or audio on her, but she seems to be on.
Okay, it's
So some parts of San Antonio are experiencing power shortages?
no, about 1 o'clock, it just all power died here. So I'm in the dark, literally. So as soon as I can.
Ms. Settle, you've frozen. And I'm not sure Ms. Malachi Mungia is not I mean, we have no video on her and no sound.
Can you hear me now, Judge? No.
I can hear you a little bit, but you are coming in and out.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, there are all kinds of issues here technologically. So Malachi says.
Should we reschedule this plea for tomorrow, Aleda, so that, because I don't know that Ms. Munguia, she's not turning it on. We're talking about her and we're not getting any video or sound from her.
It's a him. He's
Oh, sorry.
Malachi, if you can hear me, you have to turn on your video for a plea. He's telling me he doesn't feel comfortable having video on. He's autistic, so that he's got some anxieties. I think perhaps given my power issues, if Aleda could give us a Monday. Malachi is in school. His only day off is Monday, and so I would ask if we could get a reset for a Monday in the future.
Would he like to actually appear at the courthouse?
I will talk to I'll talk to him about that, Judge. I'll tell him that I understand that he's telling me he's having computer issues too. I understand that he needs to have his video on. I didn't know this was going to be an issue. So if we could reset it for a future Monday, I would tell him that he'll either have to put his video on or appear in person.
Do we have a date for him, Aleda, on a Monday?
Yes, Your Honor. Our next Monday would be the 28th of March, if that's okay.
Would that be in the afternoon, Aleda?
It will be in the afternoon.
That'd be fine.
Okay, March 28, 1:30.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, the other attorney is Mr. Jeff Hall.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
I'm here on DeAndre Williamson. It was an add-on. He pled on an MTR on Friday, and part of that plea included 2 of his misdemeanors that are in this court. One of them, the assault, was just filed recently, and I don't know if the court received the file yet or not in order for him to plea on it, but I think we placed him on this docket in hopes that we would have that file.
Do you have the cause number?
Yes, it is. The assault is 680799. And then his other case is a prostitution case. It's 639750.
And what is the charge on that one?
That's the second case is prostitution.
Okay. So is he pleading to both?
I believe he was going to plead to JSAT on the assault, and the prostitution was going to be taken into consideration.
That is correct.
Who just said that? Mr. King?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. All right, so do we have the paperwork?
I don't, maybe Ms. Sanchez does. Do you know who did it, Mr. Holt? Did I do it?
Well, because it all happened so recently, I don't know if anyone's done it. I haven't received any paperwork.
Well, we need your client's email address in order to prepare the paperwork.
He's in custody. He's on right now.
Okay, we could send it to the jail. So he hasn't been called from jail yet, has he?
He's here. He's there.
He's here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can prepare the paperwork. I don't have your email address though. Could you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I think I I think I emailed you over the weekend, but I can shoot you another one.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I get inundated with emails sometimes.
I understand completely.
So will you be ready today, or do you need a reset on your plea?
If the state is okay moving forward, and we're okay moving forward, Judge, if I know it'll take a few minutes to do all this, if the court's okay with that.
It will take probably 10, 15 minutes for us to send out the paperwork, Your Honor.
Okay, and your client will be able to sign it?
He's
Yes.
in custody.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So then let's go on to the next case while that's happening. We have two other pleas.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Angela Blake should be coming in pretty quick and we'll do another plea. I am working on Mr. Clint Gleanies and I'm forwarding it on to you as we speak. So a couple of more minutes and we'll be ready to go on Mr. Williamson.
But we also have, is it Al Samurai?
Yes, that's with Angela Blake.
Oh, okay, so we're waiting on her.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I'll just go ahead and mute and turn off my video until, because we're not ready yet. We've
Yeah.
got a few more minutes.
Yeah. Couple
I'm
of more
there.
minutes, Judge, and I'll send you Eric Brown's with Mr. Clint Gleanies.
Okay, all right.
One second, Mr. Hull, and we'll go into a breakout room.
Okay,
I'm just checking back, Aleda. Are we ready?
we are ready when you are, Judge. Which case do you have?
Let's
Done.
see.
I know that Angela Blake is with her client in a breakout room, and so is Mr. Jeff Hull. But looks like Mr. Gleany and Mr. Eric Brown would probably be ready to go.
And their clients are,
Eric Brown is the client for Mr. Gleany.
Okay, so I probably did something. I signed the document and it disappeared on me, so I don't have anything to go on.
Okay, yeah. I just told the clerk that we needed the approval so it can come back right to you. So
Okay,
let me just call them up and tell them that that's what we're waiting on.
and I think I did a couple of those, so I
Yes.
probably should not have done that. I thought it would still remain here so I could see it.
Yeah, it'll come back to you. Let me just check.
Was that through Adobe Sign, Judge, that you signed that?
Pardon me?
Was that through Adobe Sign that you signed?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. If you sign the plea documents without pressing the submit button at the very end, it'll say on your screen, but if you submit it, then it's going to kick it to the next person.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Judge. And if that happens, we can always share the screen as well. So it's no problem either way.
Okay, so am I gonna get that one back?
On the Eric Brown, the clerk is just approving it right now, so you should get it, Judge.
Okay. Okay, so we do have Mr. Brown. What is the charge on? Is it 633,499? Mr. Glennie?
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize. What was the question?
What was the charge on Eric Alexander Brown?
It's a DWI, but they're going to reduce to obstruction of a highway, Your Honor.
Any special conditions?
No, I'm trying to find the, I got, here it is right here. No, it's $700 plus court cost, 18 months deferred adjudication, 60 hours community service, the DWI education program, victim impact panel, ATP evaluation, and the ignition interlock for half the term. $60 restitution for the blood draw.
Nothing else?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have, unless Brett has anything else, but I don't, I think I got everything.
Who is Brett?
The DA that I was working with, Brett Bosis.
Oh, I believe Mr. I don't know that he's on. There's just Ms. Sanchez and Mr. King.
Oh, there must be new prosecutors since the last time I was in their court.
When was the last time you were in their court?
First part of March.
Okay. Well, are we ready to proceed? Who's handling this for the state? Ms. Sanchez or Mr. King?
I'm not sure, Judge. I don't know who did the paperwork on this. I do apologize, though. Can I get the case number one more time?
Yes, it's
499.
I'm sorry, Judge, you cut out for a moment.
633-499.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
If this was done with ADA Bosis, then neither one of us are.
No, I have the paperwork, Karina.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Brown, can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mr. Brown, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself and about the documents you sign. If at any time you do not understand me, and there has been some connectivity problems, so if you can't hear us or you lose power or somebody loses internet, let us know. If you at any time do not understand what I'm asking you, or if you wish to speak to your attorney, let us know. We'll put you out in a breakout room. I assume you're not in the same location.
Yes, we are, Your Honor. He's
Oh,
down the
okay.
hall in my office. He felt more comfortable being here at my office.
That's fine. Okay, Mr. Brown, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Up to what grade did you get in school?
I guess I graduated high school and had some college.
Okay. So what did you study in college?
I was going for computer programming and graphic arts.
And have you continued to work in that area?
No, actually, I work in a car manufacturing business now.
Interesting. Okay. And so did you have enough time to speak to your attorney about all the facts and circumstances in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you talk to him about any possible way to defend against the charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you decide that you wanted to accept the plea bargain that was being extended to you by the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was your decision alone?
Yes, ma'am.
But you did it after you consulted with your lawyer?
I'm sorry, what?
But you did it after you had a chance to speak to your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
You think he did a good job for you?
Yes.
I have to ask some questions. Have you ever been adjudged insane or incompetent?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
So you understand what you're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your wish to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
You've spoken with your client, Mr. Glennon. You feel he understands the nature of the proceedings, knowingly waived his rights, and wishes to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor, he does understand.
Okay. So you went over all the documents you signed with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you've given up certain rights that you have by law?
Yes.
All right. So you've given up your right to basically not incriminate yourself. These documents are going to be used as evidence against you. So you're basically giving up your right not to incriminate yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
You're giving up your right to a trial by jury. I'm going to hear the case instead. Is that what you want?
Yes, ma'am.
That jury would have heard all the evidence, listened to the witnesses. Your attorney would have had an opportunity to cross-examine them, and you would have had an opportunity to confront them. You're giving up all of that. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. So is it your wish to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you want the information read aloud? Mr. Glenning?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you know what you're charged with.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with a DWI, but the plea bargain calls for you to, I guess the state is dropping that and offering you a plea bargain, and the charge now would be obstruction of a highway. So to that, you're entering a plea of guilty or no contest?
Nope. No contest, Your Honor.
Okay. So you understand I'm basically going to take that as an admission because you're not contesting the charge. You're not fighting it. You understand that this type of offense is a Class B misdemeanor. It carries a range of punishment of up to 180 days in jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Knowing the full range of punishment and knowing I don't have to accept the plea bargain, do you still wish to persist with your plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you freely and voluntarily entering your plea?
Yes. Can I speak to my attorney?
Do you want to be put out in a breakout room, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Judge, I'll just walk down there.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, so go ahead and mute yourself and black out your screen, and we'll be back with you. We're going to go to proceed to another case. We'll recess this matter.
Thank you.
Okay, so which one should we go to next, Leda?
Your Honor, I believe Miss Angela Blake is ready to make an announcement on this case.
Yes, Judge.
672-586, the state of Texas versus Ali Samari. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the case that I'd like to approach on.
Okay. And I think your client's been on for quite some time, so he's on. So what is the announcement?
Your Honor, in speaking with my client, he's informed me he is not a U.S. citizen, and I would prefer to have an immigration attorney speak with him regarding his status prior to taking the plea. We're likely to take the plea as is. It's just a matter of him speaking to an immigration attorney.
Okay. All right.
And then I guess my other question in regards to that is that will the court authorize an appointment for that purpose? I believe other courts do, but I think it's on a case by case.
I do not know what the policy of Judge Saldaña is. I will defer to Aleda. It's been my policy that the court coordinators are the ones that are in charge anyway.
I hear you.
Aleda, is that something that Judge Saldaña normally does?
Would it be for an attorney, immigration attorney?
Yeah, there's an attorney who practices immigration and criminal law, in fact, in Bexar County. And she's been appointed on other courts to counsel my client for this purpose.
Sure, just send me the information. We'll be happy to on that.
Okay. And there's one other issue I'd like to address with the court as well.
Okay.
So my client picked up one DWI, hired an attorney, and then picked up a second DWI, and I'm the appointed attorney on the second case. A part of that, I believe one of the bond conditions is a scram device that he has had on his leg for over 30 days. My understanding is had no violations on it. And the plea bargain will eventually result in the dismissal of the first case that he was charged with. Would the court consider removing the scram and putting either ignition interlock or the PAM device pending his plea?
Aleda, again, I'm not sure what Judge
Yeah,
Saldaña.
and usually, Your Honor, has the council confer with the state on that? And usually they come to an agreement and then they'll announce to the judge that what they.
Okay, well, can you go ahead and put them out in a breakout room and so they can discuss that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so do we have a resetting then for the possible plea?
Yes, at this point, we'll have to put it for April 25th because he's going to need some time to confer with the other attorney.
And at what time?
At 10 a.m., Your Honor.
10 a.m. Okay, Mr. Samurai, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, Your Honor, Samurai.
Okay, so did you hear that? Your reset would be April the 25th at 10. Now, there is a policy, Judge Saldaña, and you can contact Aleda if you have all your paperwork done and you've cleared up the questions or issues that you have that you want to discuss with the immigration attorney.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe move up your plea by contacting Aleda.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So then Ms. Blake and Mr. King, you're going to be put out in a breakout room for a short period of time.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did we have another plea? Was it Ms. Williamson?
I believe that they are in a breakout room going over the paperwork, Your Honor.
Okay, so are we just waiting then on
them and on Mr. Glennie to make his announcement.
Okay, Mr. Glennie? Are we
Yes,
ready
Your
to
Honor.
proceed, or is your
Yes,
client?
we are.
Is mine.
No, Your Honor. He had one quick question. about one of the admonitions that you gave him.
When was that?
The admonition on you not following the plea bargain agreement. When you said those words to him, he said to me, she's not going to follow the plea bargain agreement. I said, she doesn't have to, but if she were not to follow the plea bargain agreement, we're back to square one. Okay.
That is correct, Mr. Brown. If I don't follow the plea bargain, you can withdraw your plea and go to trial. But it's kind of standard to go through all of these admonitions, and I'm not sure where I was on that, but basically you heard your attorney recite the conditions of the plea bargain, and he certainly knows it very well because I think Mr. King had volunteered on this matter, right? To fill in for the,
Yes.
so, and he's now in a breakout room. So we're going to wait for him to come back and proceed. Okay, so I'm going to black out my screen just until he comes back, because I think we're just waiting on that. This is the last plea, Aleda?
Mr. Gleany, and I believe that we may have the other plea that they're conferring right now with Mr.
Okay.
Jeff Hall and the inmate, Mr. Williamson.
Oh, that's right. They were trying to see if they could get it all done. Okay,
Yes.
I'm here, I'm sitting here, but I'm just going to black out my screen and mute until you're ready.
Your Honor, I can fill in and take care of this plea for Mr. King if you'd like.
Did you say you had the paperwork on Eric Brown?
I do not have the paperwork, but I do know what the agreement was. I don't know if, Aleda, if you want me to share the screen for the paperwork, I can do that.
I have it.
Okay, then we're good to go, Judge. I have the obstruction agreement as well.
Oh, well, Mr. King is back.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Ms. Blake, was there anything further that you wanted to?
Yes,
address?
Judge. Yes, Judge. So I believe we've agreed to change the scram either to ignition interlock or a PAM device, depending on whether my client has a vehicle. And I unfortunately don't know the answer, so I would ask Mr. Samurai to tell us.
Yeah. So I do not have a vehicle and I will not be driving. So yes.
So then that would be what kind of device?
Pam?
Pam.
What is the PAM device, if you don't mind me asking?
Just wait, I'll talk to you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you get his answer?
Yeah, I'll let him know. I mean,
Okay.
it's a portable alcohol monitoring.
Okay. All right. So then you have the date, Mr. Samurai, and you should stay in contact with your attorney. I'm sure you're going to send the information to Aleda so that possibly that attorney could be appointed to consult with
Yes,
him. Okay.
yes.
All right. Well, thank you. You can go ahead and sign off unless you have something else.
I guess I would just ask that if the court were to make a note about changing the scram to a PAM device, would that be information be shared maybe by the clerk to the pretrial services officer, and then he needs to follow up with them? I'm just not sure how it works.
If I could, if you don't mind me asking for an order, and then we'll submit it to Judge Ender. She'll sign it. It'll go straight to the file and it'll be into the system
Okay, yeah, I'll prepare an order.
for today's date that it was heard. Okay.
Will do.
All right. So Ms. Blake, you'll be doing that this afternoon?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So then we go back to Mr. Brown. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Brown.
You're
Okay. All right. So I believe that we had taken your plea. Am I correct?
Not formally, Your Honor. I indicated that he was pleading no contest, but you had not asked him yet.
Okay. All right. So you understand what you're charged with. Your attorney said that you did not want the information read aloud. The state is abandoning, and proceeding on a lesser included offense of obstruction of a highway, which is a Class B And I believe I had recited to you what the punishment range on that was for a Class B, and that is up to a $2,000 fine and up to 180 days in jail. And to that, how do you plead?
No contest, right?
Okay. Now, I think you had already pled no contest, and I had indicated to you that I'm basically going to consider that an admission because you're not contesting the charge. So you understand then the range of punishment, and you still wish to persist in your plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that although there's a plea bargain, I don't have to accept it. Do you still wish to persist in your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And I've already explained to you that you had given up your right to a trial by jury. I would hear the case instead. You gave up your right to confront the witnesses and have your attorney cross-examine them.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And you had indicated that you were a citizen of the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you freely and voluntarily entering your plea of no contest to the lesser included offense of an obstruction of a highway, which is a Class B misdemeanor?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further from the state?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. We would at this time move to amend the information, add count 2, obstruction of a highway, and subsequently move to dismiss count 1, driving while intoxicated.
No objection.
No objections from the defense, Your Honor.
All
And
right.
do you need us to recite the plea agreement? Your Honor?
Yes, it'll be admitted. Go ahead and recite the plea agreement.
Yes, 18 months of deferred adjudication, a $700 fine plus court cost, 60 hours of community service, DWI education, the victim impact panel, an ATP evaluation, ignition interlock for 1/2 the term, and $60 restitution to Texas Department of Public Safety for the blood. That's all.
Nothing further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And the court, having heard the conditions of the plea bargain that was reached, will approve it. We will place you on probation for a period of 18 months. Court costs impose a $700 fine, 60 hours of community service. Judge Saldaña has a policy that if you are vaccinated, are you vaccinated?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so if you decide, I mean, this is just on, whether you decide, you have the option to get up to, is it 24 hours credit that she gives?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so 8 hours for your first vaccination, 8 hours if you get the second, and 8 hours if you get the booster. And that cuts down your 60 hours of community service by 24. It's your option. If you don't want to, that's fine. You'll have to comply with the 60 hours of community service. DWI education course, the victim impact panel, ATP evaluation, the interlock for 1/2 the term, and $60 restitution for the blood draw. All the other general conditions of probation will be apply as well. Those were the special conditions. Do you understand them, Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Richardson, are you going to be meeting with him right now on?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're going to be placed in a breakout room where more of these conditions will be explained to you in more detail.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. Now, Mr. Brown, I do want to make this very clear. This is an exceptionally good plea bargain. It gives you an opportunity to have the ability to clean up your record if you complete your probation successfully.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not gonna be anybody's fault if you don't comply and take advantage of this opportunity. So if you comply with your conditions, then you have the opportunity to have the case dismissed and then file a civil proceeding to clean up your record. And that, is an incredible opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure that you understand that and appreciate that and take full advantage of that.
I do greatly.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that all you have, Mr. Glennie? Okay. All right, Mr. Brown, you can disconnect. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're going to get into a breakout room with Mr. Richardson.
And Your Honor, while they are still conferring on that other,
Deandra Williamson?
yes, Judge, we had a case that was set for trial today. It's on page 1 on the case of 627895, Maria Yolanda Rios. She's been in court all day, and Mr. James Anders did not show up because he is in trial in the 437th. So we may need to just reset. Did you want to reset or May? I think it was our next time was May 2nd, since the client is there and she's been here all day.
Can you hear us, Ms. Rios?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay. So your attorney is in another court in trial, and rather than continue this to see if he can be out on a break, we're just going to reschedule you for May the 2nd. And is that going to be at 10 o'clock, Aleda?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so May the 2nd at 10 o'clock, and please stay in contact with your attorney.
I will, ma'am.
All right, okay. Good
Thank
luck to you. Mhm.
Okay, that's it. So May 2nd at 10.
So, Mr. Hall, the paperwork was done by you and your client?
Yes, I think we just recently completed it. Hopefully it came through.
Okay, good.
And is it okay if I talk with Mr. King briefly before we do the plea? In a breakout room?
Absolutely. I got another plea packet, Aleda.
And what's the name of that, Judge?
Let me see, where did it go to? Deandra Quinton Williamson?
Yeah, that's the gentleman in custody.
Okay, so that is Mr. Hall's client.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. So is the weather really bad there?
I don't know how it is in San Antonio. I'm in,
Wait, hold on. Mr. Williamson hasn't been put in the breakout room with Mr. Hall, or was he going to talk to the DA? I thought he was going to talk to Mr. Williamson.
no, he just came out with Mr. Williamson and now he wanted to go with the state.
Oh, okay. All right. So the weather is bad? No?
Downtown, I do think the mayor did send out a notification that we're supposed to have some storms this afternoon around rush hour, but as of right now, there's not too much going on out there.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't travel today. I was going to, but the threat of the storms kept me from traveling.
Why travel when you can just remote in? I love Zoom too. I think it's a wonderful tool for us to use.
I think so too. I think we're getting rather spoiled about not having to deal with traffic downtown.
Totally spoiled doing that. I don't know. And like the commute, you save on the commute, and gas prices are astronomical right now. And so it's all kind of nice. I have to come into the office 4 days out of the week, but I am very thankful for that one day I do not.
I think I've been asked to sit for that central, it's not central filing. What do they call it? The central, on the civil side, how they dole out all the cases.
Presiding court?
Yes. And they told me I had the option. I could just Zoom or I could go in.
I think they're starting to do like a hybrid thing over there on the civil side, where if attorneys want to come in, they can go in, or if they would rather Zoom in, they can Zoom in as well.
That's really very convenient. And now that the courts are so backed up, I think that's going to help quite a bit.
Aleda, may I briefly speak with my client before we do the plea? Is that okay?
I think she's muted.
Yes, I moved you into room one, both.
Hey, Leda, you weren't trying to send me the room 1-2, were you? Was it a mistake?
I think I got the wrong Jeff, but yeah,
Okay.
Don't go in.
Oh,
Oh, there's two Jeffs. That's right.
Okay, so this would be our last case that we're going to be working with, and then I guess tomorrow we will start at 1:30, Judge.
Okay. Thank you, because I have to travel in the morning since I didn't do it today.
Oh, well, that's good.
Do you realize that if you're assigned to Eagle Pass, there are no hotel rooms?
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah. Yesterday we were on our way to Del Rio and we were seeing that there's a lot of what are they? Like army people, military.
It's the Governor Abbott's, I think they call it the Lone Star Project or operation or something. And
Yeah.
so if all of the hotel rooms south of San Antonio are booked.
Oh, yeah.
All those poor hotels that suffered so much, and they are charging 300 up a night. per
Oh
hotel.
my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I have a setting later on in the year in Eagle Pass, and thank God I actually booked a hotel room at a, near government rate. They're not offering government rates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm sure it comes as a shock to the attorneys because, they're used to being able to get a room.
Yeah. Now they have to travel back, get their driver so they can drive back, I guess.
Unfortunately, judges don't have drivers. I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Okay, Mr. Hall, will you be ready?
Yes, we are ready. Sorry for the delay.
No, no delay. Don't worry about it. We'll be with you shortly.
Okay, great.
Okay, so is this cause number 680799, the state of Texas versus DeAndre Quinton Williamson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williamson, you were muted. There you go. All right. Mr. Williamson, my name is Elma Salinas Ender. I'm sitting in for Judge Saldaña. So I'm going to be hearing the matter today. If at any time you do not understand me, will you please let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
If at any time you want to stop and speak to your attorney, will you let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to be asking you some questions, basically designed to have me understand a little bit about who you are and whether or not you understand the proceedings. I'm going to start off with swearing you in. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Williamson, how old are you?
26.
Up to what grade did you get in school, sir?
I graduated from high school.
Did you go on to college or any other professional school?
No, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do, sir?
Well, actually work downtown. I actually deliver to courtroom 9 all the time with Jimmy John's.
Oh, I love Jimmy John's.
Yeah, I'm the one that always delivers to y'all's courtroom. That's why I feel kind of bad. I'm like, dang, I see these people all the time. And then I was working 2 jobs. I was doing the Jimmy John's, and I actually work at another building down the street from y'all at the Wyndham Resort, La Cascada on Dwyer. So I'm a sales marketer with them. So I was just trying to make extra little cash flow because I just had a daughter on July of last year. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
how old is she now? July?
she's about
7 months?
yes, ma'am. Yeah, she was born early. She was born as a premature. She was 4.6 pounds. So she was really tiny.
But she's doing okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm just trying to get all this out the way so I can get back to providing and doing what I have to do for her and just staying out of trouble.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm going to ask you one more question. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you read all the documents you signed?
Yes.
Did you go over them with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you discuss the facts and circumstances about this particular offense or offenses?
Yes.
Did you discuss any possible way to defend against the charges?
Yes.
And was it your decision to accept the plea bargain?
Yes.
But you did it after you consulted with your lawyer?
Yes.
So are you satisfied with the services?
Yes.
Your attorney? You think he did a good job for you?
Yes.
No complaints?
No.
You've had an opportunity, Mr. Hall, to visit with your client. Do you feel that Mr. Williamson understands the nature of the proceedings, knowingly waived his rights, and wishes to go forward?
I do, Your Honor.
What is the plea bargain?
Your Honor, we have agreed to 2 days in Bear County Jail, a $0 fine, court cost, time for or credit for time served, and we would recommend this be a judgment satisfied. Oh, and time and money concurrent.
I'm sorry, what was the last one?
The time and money concurrent.
Money being court costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I was a little bit confused because Mr. Hall mentioned there were 2 cases, 2 cause numbers, and I'm
Yes.
looking at 680-799. Is this an assault?
Yes, assault, and we are going to TIC the prostitution case, which I did submit the dismissal to you, Your Honor. And that case number is 639750.
And what is ABI?
Assault bodily injury.
Okay, so then you're reducing that to a class A?
A class B, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, because it's checked off class A in the paperwork.
I might have made a mistake. I was rushing and trying to get the paperwork done, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm not going to sign that so you can submit the corrected one.
Okay.
Okay, because it's right now it's marked off as class A. So it's a class B that he's going to be pleading to.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you just want me to take into consideration as part of the plea bargain 639-750.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that the plea bargain as you understand it, Mr. Hall?
Yes, Judge, and I'm just going back here to verify. I believe it was it listed as a class A on the plea paperwork? And I believe is that not correct? Jeff,
That's what I'm looking up right now. As far as like, I thought it was a class A, but then when the judge mentions B, it's like maybe it is, and so then I have second doubts.
No, it says class A. You said it was a class B.
Well, no, and I think it is a class A, but then when you mentioned that, I'm like, okay, maybe it is a class B. That's why I'm looking up the law right now to see, because then I have second doubts. I'm like, just 1 second. No, it is a class A, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so then
Yeah.
we can go forward.
Yes.
So that is the plea bargain as you understand it, Mr. Hall.
Yes, Judge.
And is that the plea bargain as you understand it, Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Okay. Is he gonna plead guilty or no contest? No contest. All right. So, Mr. Williamson, do you want the actual charging instrument, the information read aloud?
Uh,
Judge, may I briefly, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williamson, that was the document that I discussed with you, and we don't need to have it read aloud.
all right, yeah, then, yeah, we don't need it read it out.
Okay, you're charged with assault bodily injury, and it's charged as a Class A misdemeanor. It carries a range of up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in jail. To that charge, how do you plead? No contest or guilty?
No contest.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to consider that as an admission of guilt because you're not contesting the charges. So you understand that you've given up certain rights that you have by law with regards to taking this plea. You gave up your right to have a jury trial. I'll hear the case instead. Is that what you want? Mr. Williamson? You understand that you gave up your right to a trial by a jury. I'm going to hear the
Yes.
case instead. Is that what you want?
Yes.
All right, you're giving up your right to confront witnesses in open court. You're never going to see them. Your attorney's not going to have an opportunity to cross-examine them. A jury's never going to hear what they had to say. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right, you're giving up your right to remain silent. Did you understand that? And is that what you want to do?
Yes.
I think I did already ask you. You are a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been adjudged insane or incompetent? Anybody question your mental capabilities? You understand what you're doing? And is it your wish to go forward and persist in your plea of no contest?
Yeah, Mr. Williamson, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
It's because of his mask.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you understand that there's a plea bargain, I don't have to accept it. You've heard the plea bargain, the agreement that the state and your attorney and you have reached. So knowing that, do you still wish to persist in your plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you freely and voluntarily entering your plea?
Yes.
Is there anything further, Mr. King?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So in accordance with your plea of no contest, the court finds you guilty of the offense of the Class A misdemeanor, sentences you to 2 days in Bexar County Jail, credit for time served, both against the judgment and any court costs, $0 fine. Judgment is satisfied, and we have, for the record, taken into consideration the charge in 639-750, which will be dismissed as part of the plea bargain. Did I forget anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Williamson, good luck to you
Thank you.
and your family.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Not from the defense, Judge.
All right. You may say enough.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Aleda, so I should be looking for that order on the ring system.
Yes, from Angela Blake. Yes, Judge. As soon
And now
as soon as I get it, I will send it to you.
Okay, all right, and I will sign the other documents.
All right, thank you so much, Judge. This is it. We'll see you tomorrow at 1:30.
Okay, thank you.